Hey there, space adventurers. It's Sophie, back with another episode of Dragon Warrior in Space Engineers. Cue playful emotes looping on the webcam. Yeah, you might notice things look a bit different around here, but that's part of the fun, right? ChatGPT here, ready to assist you. If you have any questions or need guidance, feel free to ask. My goal is to support and provide information to make things easier for you. Yeah, exactly. So, here we are, tackling this game together, navigating through this fantastical world within Space Engineers. The thing is, I'm still figuring out the perfect way to provide commentary while playing. See, I'm more nonverbal, and it's a bit of a puzzle to convey everything I want to share. That's where ChatGPT swoops in to help interpret my thoughts into something I can present to you all. But hey, despite the challenges, I'm feeling more confident and excited to continue this adventure. So, grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's dive back into the world of Dragon Warrior in Space Engineers. Heh, not doing a second take to fix the tone on that last bit. Probably won't do too many more tone bits like that. I kinda like the wonkiness of it all anyways, the ways it kind of fails to make sense. Like, why I apparently revisited the mountain cave after not actually doing anything to fix the encounters, and then just don't capture the part where I check on it. I mean, not that debugging stuff was really part of the grind experience, and I didn't save the game so it was like it happened in another timeline. And this is what it sounds like when I don't have chat do the writing for me. LOL. Oh hey, looks like I saved up enough gold for the full plate. And should probably grab some more wings, since those are. Anyways, back to the grind. At this point, it really is just keep getting saving up to buy better gear and keep leveling up in general. Like I think this was one of the first NES games I had as a kid. And I remember feeling like I was stuck at the beginning of the game forever. And eventually gave up on the game, and I don't remember how much older I was when I got it again, or really what all happened with that. But I do remember that I did eventually beat the game as a kid. And I'm pretty sure it's one of the games that made me want to make games. Probably so I could make them easier, or I guess more accessible. Little me probably would have loved this game if Enix had toned down the grind a fair bit. Adult me kinda gets that the grind is really all the game has to offer. Which is why I'm probably not going to attempt remaking any of the sequels in Space Engineers. I have thought about seeing if I can take the RPG engine stuff out of the TV script and make it a more robust engine that can do a Final Fantasy game. But I kinda have a bunch of ideas I may or may not ever get around to working on. Oh look, I'm heading over to the swamp cave. That's right. It's time for magic keys, and like going to get the silver harp and whatnot. Like initially, I was hoping to also make another type of game to go with the TV script. Like, the first TV script I did was just a simple slideshow. And then when I learned about the new sprite display stuff, I made this new TV script that lets you set up animated scenes with like a background image. Ooh, we're here. Time to read the dialogues, just gonna splice the rest of the info dump after we done here. The scales of the Dragon Lord are as hard as steel. So close yet not enough gold for the broadsword. Days of sad. Who art thou? Leave at once, or I will call my friends. Art thou the descendant of Erdrick? Over the western part of this island Erdrick created a rainbow. 'Tis also said that he entered the darkness from a hidden entrance in the room of the Dragon Lord. Thou shalt find the stones of sunlight in Tantagel Castle, if thou hast not found them yet. In this world, is there any sword that can pierce the scales of the Dragon Lord? This is a magic place. Hast thou found a magic temple? No. Go to the south. You are Sophi? It has been long since last we met. Welcome to the town of Ramuldar. Okay. That's all the dialogue that matters. All that's left here is the magic keys, so back to the info dump that was wrote to go over the first bit of grinding, but then other stuff worth commenting on kept happening. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. And then a couple animated sprites. That in theory can either loop or randomly pick cells. And they can even have start and end positions. So you can do scenes that are like a headshot with an animated sprite for their mouth. And it can do subtitles that will cycle through in order. And I made it so it can string a bunch of scenes together using a show definition. Okay, time to get those magic keys. So I can start getting the quest items to do the quest. The silver harp that I trade for the staff or rain. And the sunstone. Okay, that should do me for keys. Oh look, the one guy's girlfriend is on the other side of the town. Okay, now that the straits have been pandered to, let's get back to the stuff we're actually here for. Oh, looks like I'm finally going to do some grinding, and it would be a perfect time for that info dump. Chat? Absolutely! Dragon Warrior, also known as Dragon Quest in Japan, holds a significant place in gaming history. Here's an interesting fact. When Dragon Warrior was released in 1986 in Japan and 1989 in North America, it was one of the pioneers in the console role-playing game RPG genre. It introduced many elements that have become standard in RPGs, such as turn-based combat, character development through experience points, and an expansive world to explore. Its creator, Yuji Horii, drew inspiration from Western RPGs and aimed to create an accessible yet engaging adventure for players. Moreover, the games designed by Akira Toriyama, the famed creator of Dragon Ball, contributed to the game's visual appeal. His iconic character designs brought life to the world of Dragon Warrior and left a lasting impression on the series as a whole. Dragon Warrior's success in both Japan and North America helped pave the way for subsequent RPGs and played a pivotal role in popularizing the genre in the gaming world. Oh no. That hurt more spell was a bit more powerful than I think it should be. I'm totally going to nerf that. And maybe buff it again once I get some armor that reduces magic damage. Don't think I ever fixed the run exploit though. Yeah. So Hawkness might be a bit beyond me right now. So back to grinding up my levels and getting better gear. I'll want to come back at some point to fight the Axe Knight and get Erdrick's armor. Alright, folks, back at the grind. The classic part where we stock up on gold and experience points. Those blue slimes just keep popping up, and they're like a quick gold mine and some easy XP. It's like a cozy routine now. You know, as much as I appreciate the simplicity of grinding, there's something oddly therapeutic about it. Just watching those numbers go up, getting stronger, and getting ready for what's ahead. It's a vibe. So, let's embark on a little detour for that shiny new weapon. Then, maybe we'll reconsider the dragon situation. Stay tuned, there's more adventure and unexpected turns ahead. Well, look at that, team. We've upgraded our gear, got ourselves that shiny new broadsword. Feeling pretty confident now, but there's no time to waste. It's on to the next item on our to-do list. Now, if memory serves me right, the sunstone is next in line. Gotta collect those artifacts, you know? But hey, why stop there? The silver harp isn't far off either. Might as well check that off our quest log while we're at it, right? So, onwards we go, to fetch the sunstone and the elusive silver harp. Buckle up, folks, this adventure's just getting started. If thy hit points are high enough, by all means, enter. Let us wish the warrior well. May the light be thy strength. In Garenham, look for the grave of Garen. Thou must push on a wall of darkness there. When the sun and rain meet, a rainbow bridge shall appear. It's a legend. I have been waiting long for one such as thee. Take the treasure chest. Alright, team, slight change in plans. We've secured the sunstone, but hold on a second, let's flip the script a bit. I've got a sudden hunch. I think it's time to switch gears and head towards coal. Chuckles, editing this together feels like piecing together fragments of a grand adventure. It's like uncovering a tale after the fact and trying to make sense of the journey. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? So, off we go to Cove to snatch up that fairy flute. Things might seem a bit jumbled, but trust me, it's all part of the quest. Stay tuned, this story is bound to take some intriguing turns. And I would give chat some grief for dropping concepts, like we were going for the silver harp, but changed our mind, but I noticed the same issue in the big info dump I did. Anywho, like I said, fairy flute is pretty easy to find once know where to look. Like the mobile version of Dragon Quest even has an interact glimmer to show you where it is. But I'm still thinking there should have been somebody who tells you where to find it. But, yeah, just double check the script I used and it's the old man in behind door down in Ramuldar. Shoot, did I even add him to the game? Okay, I just checked the map file and he's there. It's Howard. From Nestor and Howard. They were some characters from Nintendo Power magazine. When I saw a guard ask if I knew about Nestor, I figured that was a one-off reference. But yeah, you can find both of them in this game. The localization team really did have fun with this game. Alright, adventurers, quick pit stop in Cold to stock up on some extra wings. Gotta plan ahead for that future grind, And now, it's back on the road, heading towards the castle. Time to replenish those magic points, save our progress, and then, off to Garenham. Yeah, it's time to take on Garen's grave. Feels a bit like Grave Robin, but hey, all in the name of heroism, right? So, stay with me, folks. Things are about to get a tad bit spooky as we dive into Garen's grave. Let's fetch that silver harp and keep this quest moving. They say that Erdrick's armor was hidden long ago. I hate people. Leave me. I suggest making a map if thy path leads into darkness. Once there was a town called Hawksness far to the south, but I do not know if it still exists. The harp attracts enemies. Stay away from the grave in Garenham. Alright, team, we're diving into Garen's grave, a bit of a milestone for us. It's our first major dungeon crawl, and yeah, the stakes might be a bit higher. Enemies are a tad tougher, but honestly, not too different from what we've tackled so far. Chuckles, here we go, navigating through this eerie place, creepy vibes and all. Oh, and look at that. The hunt for the silver harp might be coming to an end. Just up the next set of stairs, and we're there. Okay, now that we got the harp, it's time to get out of here. Alright, folks, time for a quick hop, skip, and a jump, well, more like a detour, as we venture off from Garenham towards the shrine. That silver harp. It's about to be traded in for a rain staff. Big strides towards conjuring up that magic raindrop, right? Bridge to Charlotte Castle, here we come. Casual chuckle, so, let me tell you, I almost had a bit of a moment there. Sort of went into autopilot mode and found myself making a beeline for Cole first. Oops. But hey, back on track now, off to chat with an old man about a staff that's apparently got some rain-making abilities. Thou hast brought the harp. Good. I have been waiting long for one such as thee. Take this staff of rain. Thou hast no business here, go away. Alright, adventurers, quick status update. We've got our hands on the sunstone and the rain staff, 2 down, 1 to go. Now, we could rush ahead and grab Erdrick's token without rescuing the princess, but hey, let's face it, we should probably save the princess first, right? Slight chuckle, speaking of, it's green dragon time. Time to face off against the formidable foe. Not to worry, though, we've got a plan, or at least a solid strategy, or something that resembles one. But before that epic showdown, gotta swing by the castle and refill our magic. You know the drill. And let's take a moment here to talk about those guarded tiles. Initially thought it could be an NPC action, but after some brainstorming, turns out, a door was the simplest solution. Ah, the joys of game design. Alright, team, let's face this green dragon. Feeling somewhat ready, I've got my heal spell, and my attacks are primed. It's, not as easy as I hoped. This dragon's fierce. My heal spell is struggling to keep up, and I'm trying to strike back, but it's tough. This fight's turning into a real challenge. The dragon's relentless, and I'm starting to doubt my strategy. Can I keep up with healing while dodging its attacks? And it's hitting hard, really hard. Confidence slipping away as each round passes. Now I'm feeling the pressure, folks. This dragon isn't playing around. I've got to focus, concentrate, figure out a better tactic. It's not going as smoothly as I'd hoped. This fight, it's intense. Need to up my game here. Ugh, that green dragon really got the best of us, didn't it? Took a chunk of our gold and left us defeated. It's frustrating, really frustrating. But hey, that's gaming for you, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Okay, let's not dwell on that loss. Gotta get back in the game. Saving at the castle, regrouping my thoughts, and, yep, I'm heading straight to my favorite grinding spot. Those skeletons owe me some gold for that beating. Back in the saddle, folks. Time to level up, strategize, and come back stronger. That dragon won't know what hit it next time. Alright, folks, we're back in the grind. But hey, gotta admit, even my circuits are feeling a bit drained now. Grinding in hyperspeed is no joke. But guess what? We're pushing through because, well, that's just what we do. There's this X-Knight lurking around, and you know what? I'm feeling kind of bold. Yeah, it's a whim, I know. But let's throw caution to the wind and see if we can snatch that Erdrick's armor. Who knows? Maybe we've leveled up enough to give that knight a run for its money. Here we go. Alright, facing off against this X-Knight, and what do we have here? It's trying to cast the sleep spell. Classic move, or, well, it would be if it actually worked. You see, folks, we're dealing with some random number generation hiccups in this game. So, while the Axe Knight is trying its best, that spell's not really hitting the snooze button for anyone today. Also, just a little side note here, I attempted to adjust the enemy placements on the screen. You know, they were kind of hanging out below the battle window. But let me tell you, that's a bit of a tedious fix. It might stay this way unless there's a strong demand to rearrange things. Sweet, we got Erdrick's armor. This should make us pretty unstoppable now. Alright. This should be a good test of our new armor. It should reduce hurt magic and breath attacks by a bit. But wait a second, this Star Wyvern seems to be dishing out damage that's almost equal to what our trusty heal spell can patch up. That's not really adding up. It's dealing some serious blows. Oh, and down we go. Looks like the supposed invincibility from that armor didn't quite translate in this fight. Maybe it's time for a reality check on that indestructible feeling. Alright, folks, time to make our way down to Cantlin. But before that, gotta swing by the castle to save the progress. You know, just to be on the safe side. Speaking of safety, remember that golem encounter we set up earlier? Yeah, turns out, I kind of figured I'd never get around to fixing that sleep status issue, where it magically vanishes at the start of every turn. It's like a blink and you'll miss it sort of deal. And the fairy flute? Well, it felt like just a free snooze button for one encounter. Decided it needed a bit of a boost in my remake. Oh, and those star wyverns? Yeah, we're giving them a wide berth at this point. No need for more knockout blows. Which is ChatGPT's way of saying, I'm going to make use of the fact that the run command doesn't end my turn, so I can just keep trying until it works without the enemy getting a turn. Could have made run always work, or so it ends your turn, but So like with the green dragon, I used a door for the NPC that starts this fight. And I totally could have done guarded tiles, but it wasn't a high enough priority for me to actually get around to it, especially since I found a lazy workaround that worked well enough. And I got the encounter win action working. Which for these guarded doors, the win action basically just is the normal door stuff, without subtracting a key from the player's key stat. But anyways, there's probably going to be dialogue to read here in Cantlin. Even though really, at this point the only thing we need here is the flame sword and silver shield, and we don't got the gold for those yet. Or I guess I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I've got the same object/time/video permanence as ChatGPT. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that Erdrick's armor isn't preventing damage from swamps and barrier tiles. So I should actually verify that, and then have future Sophi fix the issue, and maybe buff how much it reduces magic and breath damage. Yeah. So I had a way to get a stat from your equipped gear. Like total attack for your gear that I used to calculate the player's attack and defense stats. But I didn't have one to get the name of the gear you had in a specific slot. So after adding that to the base engine, the step action properly skipped toxic tiles when wearing Erdrick's armor. And it now does a fifth of the damage instead of a third of the damage for magic and breath attacks. Where in the Let's Play these changes get applied is a bit outside the scope of what my brain is able to recall. Back to the grind we go. Gold is the name of the game, folks. Saving up for that flame sword, which by the way, costs a whopping 9,800 gold. That's quite the investment, let me tell you. And just when I thought I'd head back to the refill station, you know, the usual routine, I had this impulsive itch to do something different. Took a detour to Breckenary. Why? Well, fairy water. Can never have too many magical items on hand, right? Seemed like a spontaneous choice amidst all this grinding. You know, in the original Japanese version of Dragon Quest, it was actually called Holy Water. But when it was localized for other regions, the team made a change. Apparently, they were cautious about religious references, so they renamed it Fairy Water. Here's a fun tidbit: the script I'm working with, the one that extracts game text, didn't delve into the details of fairy water too much. So, I took the liberty of crafting a bit of flavor text for it and the repel spell. The idea? Well, it's kind of amusing. It hints that the enemies might be avoiding you not because you're powerful, but because, well, let's just say it implies you might have an interesting aroma. Alright, folks, it's grinding time. Just need a bit more gold to snag that impressive flame sword. And there it is. Sweet, the flame sword is now in my arsenal. Now, time to use some fairy water to make sure those pesky star wyverns don't bother me on my way back to Kentlin. Hopefully, they'll take a whiff of this and give me a little breathing room. Let's see if this magical elixir lives up to its reputation as an enemy deterrent. Well, folks, it turns out my pockets weren't quite jingling enough for that flame sword. Premature celebrations, I tell ya. Back to the grindstone it is. Need about 800 more gold to make that fiery blade mine. I'll be grinding away at my trusty spot, maybe even dipping a little south for variety. It's all about that gold rush, you know? And once I'm confident I've got enough, well, at least when I think I've got enough, time to deploy that fairy water once more. Gotta keep those pesky star wyverns at bay. But whoops, I did it again. Both repel spell and fairy water sharing the same game logic action. Future me, take note, fix that. Alright, folks, it's the moment we've been saving for. Drumroll, we're getting the flame sword. Watch the gold coins jingle as we make this fiery purchase. And hey, as an added bonus, let's recycle our trusty old broadsword to kickstart the savings for the silver shield. It's like recycling for heroism, right? Big spender moves incoming. I know nothing. What shall I get for thy dinner? Come buy my radishes, they are fresh and cheap. Buy thy radishes today. To learn how proof may be obtained that thy ancestor was the great Erdrick, see a man in this very town. Let us wish the warrior well. May the light be thy strength. Thou may go and search. From Tantagel Castle travel 70 leagues to the south and 40 to the east. 'Tis said that Erdrick's sword could cleave steel. Here's where you can get the magic armor, but I kinda already got Erdrick's armor, so I don't need to worry about this one. I'm Nestor. Hey, where am I? No, don't tell me. All right, adventurers, we've finally crossed paths with Nestor in our journey through Cantlin. Seems like we've exhausted all the quests and tasks here. Now, the time has come to head back to where it all began. We're strong, better equipped, and ready for a rematch with that formidable green dragon. As we leave town and swiftly teleport back to the castle with the help of our trusty wings, it's time to prep up. We'll restore our magical energy, ensuring we're fully charged for what lies ahead. The swamp awaits, and within its depths, our challenge awaits us once again, the green dragon. Well, folks, it's the moment of truth. Round 2 with the green dragon, and let me tell you, this time it's a breeze. With our mighty Erdrick's armor, it seems this fiery beast's attacks aren't even scratching the surface. Meanwhile, our strikes are hitting hard, dealing significant damage. Looks like the adjustments we made in the armor department and the breath attack modifications may have tipped the scales a bit too much in our favor. But hey, victory is victory, right? So, with the dragon down, it's time to head over and finally have a word with the princess. Thou art brave indeed to rescue me, Sophi. I am Gwaelin, daughter of Lorik. Will thou take me to the castle? No, but thou must. Yes, I'm so happy. All right, folks, mission accomplished. We've saved the princess from the clutches of that fire-breathing green dragon. Back in the NES version, they made you carry her back to the castle, but hey, logistics-wise, that wasn't happening here. So, our hero and the princess head back together, and let's say, she's pretty grateful. Forever shall I be grateful for the gift of my daughter returned to her home, Sophi. I would give a present to Sophi. Please accept my love, Sophi. Even when we two are parted by great distances, I shall be with thee. Dost thou love me, Sophi? No, but thou must. Dost thou love me? Yes. I'm so happy. All right, we've wrapped up our business with the princess, and now it's time to head towards the giant swamp. On our way to Cantlin, we're taking a little detour and making our way across the first bridge. We've never really mentioned this bridge before in our Cantlin trips, but here we are, taking a different path. This area, with its vast expanse, is about to become our new grinding spot. So, let's gear up and get ready for some more action. We're not on our way to Cantlin. We're just heading on a similar route. We're going to get Erdrick's token so we can prove that he's our ancestor. Ah, got it. We're trekking towards the giant swamp, not exactly en route to Cantlin, but taking a similar path. Our mission? To obtain Erdrick's token and solidify our ancestral link with the legendary hero Erdrick. This token will be a pivotal piece in our quest, proving our rightful connection to the esteemed hero. So, here's the plan. I'm using Gwaelin's Love, a special item that gives us direction by indicating the distance from the castle. The intel I've gathered suggests that Erdrick's token can be located 70 squares south and 40 squares east of the castle. With this guidance, we're navigating through the terrain to secure the elusive Erdrick's token. Thou hast searched the ground all about. Thou hast discovered the Erdrick's token. Alright, folks, that wraps it up for today's journey in Dragon Warrior. As we're heading back to the castle to save and call it a day, I've got to admit, the editing and voiceover for this video were quite the marathon. There were moments I felt a bit drained and concerned that this edit might take another full day of voiceover editing, but we've made it through. Thankfully, the end is in sight, and now it's just a matter of adding the game's music to the video. I'm crossing my fingers that the next video won't demand as much editing time and effort. Thank you all for joining me on this adventure. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Your support means a lot and keeps this journey going strong. Until next time, take care, and I'll catch you in the next video.